We're now on to lesson 17. So we've been spending the last several lessons going through verbs. We went through all the tenses and all the principal parts. And now we are going to go back to nouns, and you'll see, so 17 is on third declension, which is about nouns, and then 18 is going to go into participles, which are verbal adjectives. They have both verb and adjectival aspects to them, or noun aspects to them. So the reason is that many participles take third declension endings. So that's why we're introducing third declension now in lesson 17. It will now benefit you as you go on to participles lesson 18 and after that. And there are many nouns in third declension as well. So what is third declension? So if we go and look here, let's do a review. First declension are those words that end in eta or alpha. So like hora or doxa or grafe. Those are nouns that end in alpha or eta. Mostly those are feminine nouns. And then we've learned about second declension. Those are the words that have an omicron in their ending. And those are generally masculine and neuter nouns. And so third declension is kind of a catch-all for those words that don't end like that. And so you've been given some here, some examples. So like archon, and then sarx later on here, and then soma. So if we just go back, the main thing you need to know is that third declension takes different endings. And it's somewhat similar to first aorist and second aorist, where they mean the same thing, but they just have different ways that they're formed. It's somewhat like this, or like that as well. You still have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative, and those mean the same thing. It's just with some types of nouns, the endings are different. And so, rather than, os, u, o, on, we have a sigma, os, iota, not subscripted, and an alpha for the endings in the third declension. And then the plural, you have s, on, si, as, and s. So looking at archon, you can see the endings here. So you can see the genitive is now os rather than the nominative. So these are endings that you're just going to have to memorize. Sometimes you will see that, I guess it's here, in, so like archon, the root is actually archont with the tav, but the tau has dropped out in the nominative, which makes the omicron lengthen to an omega in the nominative. In the dative, both the nu and the tau drop out, and it's replaced with the dative ending sin, archusin. And so just know that some of the endings will contract or make things drop out. And we see that in sarx as well, where the actual stem is sark that you see in the genitive here. And then in the nominative, you have the sigma being added to the nominative, and that's where you get the sarx. And then in the dative plural, since we're adding sigma iota, the sigma and the kappa contract together to make the xi as well. So we get sarxin. And we see it as well here, where we get soma. The actual root is somat, and again the tau drops off in the nominative here, and then in the dative, the tau drops out with the seen added in the dative plural. So those are your irregulars with your noun endings. So how do you know that a noun is third declension? If we go back to our vocab here, notice here that when it gives you the word, it gives you, first just like the base nominative masculine singular form. So here, haima. It gives you the article on the end here. That tells you what gender it's in. So to haima tells you that it's neuter. But then here, this second part, this is the genitive ending. The genitive ending. So you might, when you first see haima, you might think, oh, that's a feminine word. It's a first declension, right? Because it ends with an alpha. But you know that's not true because of the to, it's neuter. And then you see the genitive and you notice that it's not ou or ace in this case, but it's atos. And so since the genitive has that os ending, that should alert you this is a third declension noun. And so it needs those third declension endings. Okay, that's it for this lesson.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bible Toolbox. All of the resources mentioned in this episode are posted on our website, thebibletoolbox.com. There you can also find out more information on how to give and support us. And we have loved all of the encouragement and feedback we've received from you. So thanks so much.